Everybody has a favorite relative that we look forward to seeing when they come visit our home. You may have cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents, and more, but one of my favorite relatives is my Uncle Ronald. When my uncle came around, he always laughed and played with us. He would always take us out and treat us to cool snacks and buy us things. He would also tell us about the cool stories of how he served in the military. That's right, my uncle was a Marine. He loved being a Marine and always told us about his trips and how he missed many of his friends who died fighting for the United States of America. Right now, I want to talk to you about a holiday that I always enjoyed hanging out with my Uncle Ronald on, which is Memorial Day. That's right, Memorial Day is one of my favorite holidays because it's not just about having a 3-day weekend, but hanging out with my uncle and seeing how important it was for him to be in the military. It was also important to see how we pay tribute to those who died protecting freedom in our country. Right now, I want to take the time to tell you about a few fun facts about the celebration of Memorial Day and how we pay honor to our fallen soldiers each year in May. One thing I like about Memorial Day is that many people don't know it wasn't always called Memorial Day. The original name for Memorial Day was Decoration Day. This is because family and friends who knew soldiers who had died serving in the military would go to the cemetery and decorate their graves. Another thing that people get confused with is Memorial Day and Veterans Day. Memorial Day is celebrated the last Monday in May, but Veterans Day is celebrated in November. The difference between the two is Memorial Day is there to celebrate soldiers who died while serving, while Veterans Day is there to honor all of our military veterans. Now, when you look at history, many people argue about where this celebration began, but most people point to the Civil War. This was because approximately 620,000 soldiers died on both sides, with the Union and the Confederates fighting for control of the country. When it comes to famous cemeteries, you can't talk about any cemetery without mentioning Arlington Cemetery. A random fact about Arlington Cemetery is that there are over 300,000 soldiers buried there. Now, of course, it wouldn't be Memorial Day without talking about the United States of America's flag. This plays a part in how we celebrate too, because on Memorial Day, the flag is flown at half-mast, meaning halfway up the flagpole until noon. After that, it is raised all the way to the top, meaning full mast until sunset, in tribute to those who have fallen in the line of duty. Now, in 1967, this holiday that honored those who died in service to the military was officially named Memorial Day. Later in 1971, it became an official federal holiday, and now you see that we celebrate Memorial Day each year, paying tribute to our fallen soldiers. Now, talking about some interesting ways to celebrate this holiday, there are some families that go to the cemetery and have a picnic to honor their fallen loved ones. Although this isn't a widely accepted way of celebrating Memorial Day, you can still find people who do this to remember their loved ones. On Memorial Day, if it is 3 o'clock, you can think to yourself that there are many Americans around the country honoring those who have fallen in service to the military. This is because in 2000, the United States Congress passed a law for Americans to stop and remember those who died in service at that time. This was a great way of thanking our men and women who served. Bill Clinton was the man who signed this tribute for Americans to honor our troops who died in service. Of course, with Memorial Day being so close to summertime, it is said that nearly 32 million people travel each year on this holiday. This is because a lot of families use this as an opportunity to take summer vacation. Well, I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me while I told you some fun things about Memorial Day. There is nothing like taking time to celebrate those who stand up for our rights and pay the ultimate price with their lives defending our country.